The Aurora, launched by the Murphy and Miller of Cleveland on August 23rd of 1887. This 290-foot long steam-driven propeller vessel at the time was the largest and most powerfully built wooden vessel on the Great Lakes. The Aurora was originally owned by John Corrigan of the Aurora Mining Company of Milwaukee, and he paid $150,000 for her construction. The Aurora was used to ship iron ore from the Gobic Range Ironwood of Michigan to Cleveland, and she also transported coal from Cleveland on the return trip as well. When the Aurora was built, iron-hulled ships were still pretty new at the time and not as frequent until much later. The advancement of using iron straps allowed the builders to fabricate this immense ship with wood. On December 12, 1898, the Aurora actually burned to the waterline at Bois Blanc in the Detroit River, where she actually had been stuck in ice for several days. The owners of the Aurora chose to rebuild the 11-year-old vessel at the time into a barge. She would then be towed. They spent an overall $50,000 in her rebuild. In that capacity, the barge actually changed hands several times. The Aurora eventually came under the ownership of the Morton Salt Company in 1916. The company then laid up the vessel upon the downturn in the economy of 1927. And then the Aurora was eventually towed to Grand Haven, where again she burned in 1932. Her remains were left in the shallow water on the north side of Harbor Island to rot and fade away. In the fall of 2012, low lake levels resulted in the exposure of at least 5 shipwrecks, and this was all along the edges of Harbor Island in Grand Haven, Michigan. The Michigan Shipwreck Research Association was called in and was asked to survey and identify these vessels. The largest of these vessels was located just east of the public launch ramp on the island, first spotted by area residents Bill and Shirley Martinez, if I'm saying that correct. On Friday, December 7th of 2012, the MSRA Board of Directors Valerie Van Hest and Craig Rich both teamed up with Kenneth Pott, a maritime archaeologist. They went over and studied the hole which was exposed, along with a propeller shaft and cradle at the stern and the exposed sides of the vessel. During their research, they had concluded that the vessel was a large steamer, 40 feet wide and at least 160 feet in length, though an additional amount forward toward the bow and end eventually appeared, but was buried. Valerie, Rich, and Pott worked with historian William Lafferty of Lafferty, Van Heest, and Associates. They were actually able to narrow it down between 2 possibilities: the 180-foot L.L. Barth, an abandoned vessel as well in Grand Haven in 1927, or a much larger vessel, the 290-foot Aurora, which again burned in 1932. After another survey just east of the visible portions of the wreck, they were able to conclude, Valerie, Jack, and Craig, as well as Larry, on Sunday, December 12th, that the revealed structure was well over 200 feet long, and this gave them their answer to conclude that the vessel was the Aurora. It is said that the erosion of the Grand River since 1932 is very much evident within the discovery of the Aurora. After the fire, river sediments built up over the forward half of the vessel, and this eventually several trees and marsh shrubs as well sprouted all over the wreck, and the river as well shifted. Valerie pointed out that the current environmental changes revealed the portion that had only been covered with water. Hey all my shipwreck lovers. So I tried to do something special and last minute here for you guys. This is also on my phone because I took my really nice camera out today and only to get here and see that the memory card was not in it. So that's my bad. And it's sprinkling a little bit right now, which is fine. I was hoping really for to give you guys something early here on, but at least when the tide goes on, I guess during later fall is when the shipwreck is really visible. But this is public. The boat launch is just over here. It's public boat launch. But yeah, if you guys, I guess, come later in the fall, or maybe another time there'll be a there'll be a lull in the tide here, and there's a parking spot up there. But yeah, right out into here is where the Aurora sank. And I will not spit brain that, but I will try and give you guys a little history on her. But I think it could be a stretch. Maybe this is a little something from her right here. It could be totally it could totally be just reeds or something. It's just the tide is low enough that she comes out. I'm at the spot where it would be. But yeah, sorry guys, I wish I could have shown you a shipwreck, but this is at least the spot where you guys can go if you live here in Michigan to see one from shore when the tide is low. She goes out quite a ways out there. I know there's well, heck, I'll even take you in there a little bit. It goes, I guess, for a bit into the woods here, and the only thing I could have found that might be from a shipwreck is this piece of wood in here. This right here, this could be from the Aurora, or it could be a old dock or something from maybe one of the barges over there. But this is the only thing in the woods area where it supposedly is, part of it is connected as well. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I am sorry guys, I wanted to give you a good visible look of a shipwreck, but this is a spot out here in Grand Haven where you guys can see when the tide is lower, or if you got, I don't know, diving equipment, maybe you can go see her. But this is, yeah, so I'm guessing right out from there, right out into in this general area is where the shipwreck Aurora is supposed to be. So, but yeah, it's that crazy. It's right here on shore, right like that. So thank you guys for this little quick video on the Aurora. I tried. This is the general area, so if you guys want to, maybe your luck is better at finding it, let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for this quick little history, and I cannot wait for next month's May trip up to Superior. That is going to be incredible. I cannot wait to show you from shore like this other spots for shipwrecks are at. So till then, see you guys on Songs of the Great Lakes. God bless.